Hey, what's going on, everyone? So today let's talk about Frank and Drake. Frank and Drake is a point-and-click adventure narrative game from Abnormal's team and Chorus Worldwide Games, and it released on July 20th. This game is described as a modern gothic mystery tale, and it also deals a lot with themes of self-reflection with our two main characters that we get to play as. We start the game in Frank's perspective, who is an amnesiac that is struggling with the day-to-day life of figuring out who he is and also his job and the daily struggles of life in general. The other character that we play as is Drake, who has a sunlight allergy, and so their stories are told during like the day and night cycle, where Frank is out during the day, sleeps at night, and then Drake is out at night, sleeps during the day. So, they're also brand new roommates, but they're strangers to each other and only really communicate through sticky notes that they leave for one another on the fridge after they've concluded with their respective days. I really enjoyed the whole experience of this game. The thing that stands out instantly will be the rotoscope animations. I'm sure they could be a bit much for someone, and I totally understand that. I can get overstimulated really easily, so I was a bit concerned with that here because of the animation style and the flickering movement of it, but I actually never found it too distracting when I was playing. They do a really cool thing where the objects in the game that you can interact with have a more subtle animation to them, and I enjoyed that because I didn't have to go through like every little thing to know what to do or what to click on next. But also just the animation of the entire game is so pretty to look at. The visuals definitely ended up being my favorite part of the game, but the story was super strong here too. It is a very story heavy game, but I didn't find that to be too overwhelming either. There's a lot of little things to do here, like doing puzzles in the game, actions to do, being a bartender and getting like the right beer to someone so they eat their pretzels, and it really just kind of boiled down to the story being interesting enough and these characters being interesting enough that I didn't really mind going through all the minutia and having a lot of stuff to read. And then especially when the characters would journal down what they did during the day or during the night, and then having their own introspective thoughts about themselves and the world around them, that was all very, very engaging to me. I wanted to know more about them and the mysteries of what was going on. Like, I knew going into this game that it had a bit of that darker gothic feel to it, and that it even spread further into like the supernatural, but the way that they introduced it here was still really fun and surprising, and it only made me more curious about everything that was going on. A huge part of this game is also choices. You can choose what you want the characters to do in like a sort of A or B scenario, and that dictates like the entire part of that story. So you can see like this little tree in the bottom left pop up, that's the story tree, and it shows that you chose one thing and the other thing that you didn't choose is just gone forever. So basically you would have to like play the game again to get that other side of the story because it's gone in your story now. And I can understand if that's like frustrating for some people, that you don't want to play the game again to get every little detail. But I think that's kind of the point of these games. They're kind of short and they demand, or they at least ask you to play it again to get the full experience of it. And so I thought that was kind of nice just to have some impact on the story and your own like sort of personalized experience while playing it. And then there's a relationship meter between the characters that shows how close or not close that they are depending on what is going on, and I thought that was a really nice thing to add here just to give us some more insight into the characters' minds. If there is one thing that I would have to critique, it would really only be the music at the start of the game. It was this really short loop of the same song for like about 10 or 15 minutes, and I was a bit concerned that it would be that way for like the entire game, but thankfully that wasn't the case. Music is a big thing for me, and so the fact that I was always aware of that song resetting itself and starting over, it was really taking me out of the game, taking me out of the experience of it all. But again, it only lasted like for 10 or 15 minutes, so it wasn't a huge deal. Like overall, I really did enjoy this game, like so much of it, and I'm glad that I decided to give this one a shot because it wasn't on my radar at all. And these kinds of games, like, I think it's classified as a visual novel in some stores, and the whole point and click adventure genre, I think it can be a bit hit or miss, especially for me, but also I'm assuming for a lot of people. But I thought they were able to do something unique here for this genre, and I would really recommend it to anyone who has an interest in this kind of storytelling, but you need to like decide that up front. You got to know that up front. If this game isn't for you, if you don't like the point and click adventure style of games and stories, I would not get this one. I don't think it's going to change your mind at all. But yeah, this one really was like a very fun and different type of story. So yeah, that's all I've got for this one. Thank you all so much for watching this. It really does mean a lot to me. I hope to catch you all in the next one, whenever that might be. And until then, everybody, take care.